Good Monday morning, everybody. This is Grace, and today I want to talk about, in this video, people who have a really false sense of self. And you can think of these as narcissistic, toxic type people. They believe they're very arrogant. They believe their own BS. They believe that they are meant for more and everybody should follow them. Someone along this line. Okay. And I have somebody in mind. But I could say also it could be generalized to more than one person that I've seen have this kind of attitude. But in this one, somebody who really, I want to say first, I don't see everybody out there in the world this way. I don't see everybody as bad. There are good people in this world. But when you talk about a subject, it's going to sound that way because you're talking about it. That doesn't mean that's all I see. So, and remember, I'm not a healthcare professional provider, and my dogs make noises like that one right there. Yeah, I'm not a healthcare professional or provider. This is not counseling advice or anything along that line. Please read the disclaimer in the description box below this video on YouTube. So don't take it as counseling advice or anything like that. Okay, maybe that dog's settled down a little bit. I doubt the other one's going to start barking. But now let me explain something about this woman. She was raised to believe, she was born late in life for her parents, and she was raised to believe that she she had older siblings, but she was raised to believe that she kind of knew it all. And when she was extremely naive, she was extremely just innocent. I mean, not really innocent, but she just didn't. She didn't know it all. But she believed it. She believed that she did. They gave her, like a power position in the family, like she was some queen or princess at least. And she wasn't. She just wasn't. And that continued on through her life. But what she didn't realize, even as a child and on in her career, that she was being used. Okay. She couldn't realize it because she couldn't look past her sense of self, that she was so, so important to everybody, that she was so intelligent, that she just knew everything. She couldn't see past her own image of herself. And that image was that she was the greatest, okay, at everything, because she was good at one and she did earn a lot of money, but they paid her a lot more than what was normal because she couldn't realize this, just like anywhere in life, that she was being set up as the fall guy, what we call the fall guy. Okay, and she never would realize that in any kind of relationship, people were using her and she would not realize it because instead she put it in her mind, this sense of grandiose sense of self, that she was so important to so many people, that everybody just loved her because she was so smart and so everything, when instead they were using her and she couldn't see it. She could not see it. Okay, now what really developed out of all of this from her childhood onward was the sense of self, like I said, that she was so important to so many people and that she knew so much, but she worsened over years. And that's what tends to, that's what tends to happen is that I've seen myself, is that they may have been, delusional, really, delusion from early on, and they continued to believe it, and it worsened as they aged. Now I don't know what's happened to her in the past few years, but I don't have contact with her. But the sense of self is there, strong sense of self that is totally wrong, in believing that she knows everything. And she had studied one field. She did not go to college. She didn't go to the university. She went and took a few classes, one or two classes to get a certification, which was, I had actually did some of this too, and wasn't something that you really had to think. You just had to memorize. Okay, that's all it was to it. You had to memorize. That's it. And pass the test, get the certification. Like I said, they paid her more because she doesn't get it. She's the fall guy. And it did come around. And it was bad. It was really bad. But she still wants it. So she has this in one field. And she's good at what she does, but that one field, that one part, she can't do the rest that she's being paid to do. But as the fall guy. Anyway, she took that, which had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with these other other areas. But because she was good at this, she felt she was good at everything that anybody would come to her to talk about, to ask about, even if they didn't. She felt she was great at all of it. So everybody should listen to her. And she would come up with the answer of what somebody should do. You know, she's very important. She's very self-important. Oh, this is what you should do on this, and this is what you should do on that. Now, I wasn't around her much. I spoke to her more on the phone than I ever did see her in person. And when I would see her in person, it could be a long while between times, it would just shock me on how her body language was when she would say all this. Besides, you know, what was on the phone, you can't see the body language. But, oh my goodness, it was amazing. Okay, now one of the areas that she had no knowledge of, did not deal with her certifications at all or anything in her life really, was that of psychology, of counseling people. Okay, she went to a counselor once, and she went to the counselor. Really, I was there, not at the counseling, but I was there at the time with her. She went to the counselor to basically have it verified that that she was this person. And she told me what the counselor said. I saw the books the counselor gave her. The counselor was not telling her she was all that, but she was seeing it that way. Everything the counselor told me, I was like, the counselor was right, but she had twisted it in her mind. She had twisted it in her mind to where the counselor was saying that she was oh so giving and she was oh so wonderful, and everybody needed her, and all on and on. Well, she took from there, and plus I was a student. She knew me all the while, working on a bachelor's degree with double major, psychology, sociology, master's in sociology, and I worked on a PhD in counseling and developmental psychology. She was there. She took the knowledge of mine. She was a copycat. She copycat me like you would not believe. So she took the knowledge that was mine, if I said anything, and she ran with it. She would run with it, and suddenly she became a counselor, you know, in her mind. Not on paper. She never went to a day to school, not a day to college or university, no. But she knew how to counsel people. And she sat there one day and told me what she told this woman that had serious, serious problems. Seriously. And she counseled her, and she told me what she said, and that was it. It was like, no, you don't do that. You know, she got so angry. You know, the narcissistic kind of that's injury to them. But because she felt like she knew everything, and everybody, and it was just me that would think that way to her. Every time, it's just you that thinks that way. No, other people thought that way. I was not the only person. But she did. She gave this woman awful advice. Awful advice. Anyway, but that was her sense of self. Her sense of self was that she knew it all. She didn't have to go to school. That is a part of this whole, you know, this arrogance, this sense of, you know, grandiose, this sense of self, inflated ego, nothing to say this is what you did, so therefore you are this, except for that one job. But it had nothing to do with psychology, nothing to do with counseling, but she took it and ran. Oh my goodness. Okay, I could tell a lot of stories about her. Um, when I finally just said that's it, no contact, was listening to her um, be an expert on something else that was awful, just awful, another awful thing. More than one did she do. And I said, that's it. No more. You know, I can't deal with this. I would tell her how I thought about it, and other people would tell her, like I said, I wasn't the only person who saw her as wrong, but the people who followed her, they were wanting to be the same as her. They were wanting to get things by not doing things. They wanted to get that, like that income that was not deserving of that income. So they didn't see it either. They didn't see she was being the fall guy. And another person was a fall guy too, kind of thing. But she quit. But they didn't say it that way. But yeah. Anyway, there was a lot more to this. But you can see this. You will see this. I have seen this on YouTube myself. Watching some videos when people have the sense of self like they are somehow deserving because they've had experiences. It takes a lot more than experiences. And they will down the professionals. Oh my goodness, we all know they're bad professionals, and they will, you have somebody at the bottom of the class and blah blah blah. So therefore, you should listen to me, and they don't have any education in it, any at all. But you should listen to them. No, no, no. What they don't understand, they're not about to tell you, is to even be in that class, because it's so so competitive. You have to keep a certain GPA no matter what. At least where I live, you have to. Okay, and it's not a C. You have to keep at least a B or above. So their B or above beats what these people who claim to be, they know it all because they have experienced it. No, it takes more than simple experience. It takes knowledge. It takes wisdom to know what you're talking about. It takes certification. It takes a license wherever you live, whatever it is that it takes. It takes that. Not just somebody who says, I am know-it-all. And those people, the other people, the real qualified professionals, to them, no, no, no. No, we know they're bad ones, and they're so elusive that you can find a real one. No, you can find one. You got to search for it. Anyway, that's enough on this for now. Talk to y'all later. Bye.